I would like to invite everyone right now to imagine that today is your birthday. You can do that. Alex's birthday was on Friday. Does anyone else have a birthday that's actually happening while we're here? No? So just imagine that today is your birthday. How would that change things? Would you feel different about what goes on if today was your birthday? How do you look at the day when it's your birthday? You think about it a little differently, right? It's a different kind of focus. It's a special day. I'm going to talk about that kind of focus. I grew up in a tiny little town in Ohio, like 4,000 people, and our house was in the woods. And I would go out, I loved to get away from what was going on in the house. I went out into the woods. That was my refuge with my dog. I'm a dog person. And on my birthday, when I was somewhere between 10 and 13, I can't remember anymore. And by the way, we have no speaker system, so I'm projecting. So if you can't hear me at any moment, just do this, and I won't assume you're saying it's good. Okay. Can you hear me okay now?
When you look right at me and talk.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to look at you the whole time. All right.
Now it's my birthday.
It is. It's your birthday. So just imagine today's your birthday, and I'm going to tell a story about birthdays and that feeling you get on your birthday. So when I was somewhere between 10 and 13, it was my birthday, and what was going on in our house was it was a special day that I especially wanted to not be in the house for that day. So for my birthday, I wanted to go in the woods and get lost. Now, in a small town, when you grow up, everyone knows everyone, and you know every inch of the town. So the idea of going somewhere in the woods, and we had there was a couple acres of woods, and there were some woods over by a farm I'd never been over to by myself at that age. And the idea of being someplace where you didn't know where you were was beyond my imagination. So on my birthday, for this time, I went out with my dog, who was also thrilled to be out of the house, and we went in the woods, and I deliberately, and if you hike, you know to keep track of where you are, you always look back so you know what the view will be going back. I didn't. I looked down, and I was twisting and turning because I wanted to get lost. And I went all like this all the way, and I finally got over to a part of the woods that I hadn't been before. And it was starting to get very exciting. And I finally got to a place in the woods, and I stopped, and I looked in all directions, and I had no idea where I was or what way to go. There was a little moment of fear, but it was thrilling. It was this, and everything stopped for a second. I can't tell you what that was because I was only 10 or 11 or 12, but I just kind of basked in that moment of not knowing where I was. And then I just picked a direction to go. My dog was kind of happily beside me, and in about less than 5 minutes I knew where I was, and I went home. 15 years later or so, in my late 20s, I'm in New York City trying to be an actress, which means I had no money, and it was my birthday, and I wanted to get lost in the woods. If you've ever been to Manhattan,